Are war wagons any good? This was not an easy question for me, largely since I was here when they first came out. Let's just say the community reception was not warm. So let's go over how they are in the Shadows of Change era, shall we? Please like, subscribe, comment, and consider donating to my Ko-Fi page. This was a comment video request, and I was in between other stuff, so I said, why not? That's how it works around here. War wagons come in at 4 wagons on Ultra, costing 875 to recruit with a campaign upkeep of 213 default. Hit points are 4,800, or exactly 1,200 per wagon. The wagons are considered to be armored entities with armor of 90, leadership of 65, which isn't bad in the slightest, speed 66, which is a far cry from the 50 I would have expected back in the day. Melee attack is a miserable 18 with an attack interval of 4 and a very large splash size that damages a maximum of 4 targets in melee. Melee defense is 12. Weapon strength per wagon is 26, divided between 20 base and 6 armor piercing. About what you'd get from an Empire Spearman. Not a unit of them, one of them. Charge bonus is 29 with a mass of 1200. So in other words, they have some value barreling into infantry of low mass and low armor, but that is their only viable use in physical combat. Actual melee combat should be avoided like one of Nurgle's grandchildren. Ammunition is 35 per wagon, and that's important. Range is 130, and spoiler alert, unlike Outriders, this unit fires in a 360-degree arc, so a full circle around the wagon. Missile damage is officially listed at 300, but that's because of those 6 Outriders in the back. You know, on a high-sided wagon like they're firing out of a raised box in Attack on Titan? Except these guys have horses pulling them around, so I think they have the better deal in the long run. So each shot is listed as base damage 5 and armor-piercing damage 25, with a reload time of 6, just like the Outriders on horseback. Here's another thing. They'll keep firing even if the wagon is in contact with enemy infantry. That's good, because as I said, the melee damage of the wagon is atrocious. Total accuracy is 20, and calibration distance is 85, so the wagons are more effective in drive-by shootings under that range. Calibration area is 1.6, so they're relatively accurate regardless. Point being, 4 wagons, 6 Outriders. That's 24 models firing as opposed to the 60 firing in an Outriders unit. So for more cost, you've traded the pace of offensive output for a much greater ability to quote-unquote skirmish and raid the back lines with a lot less fear of normal archers or even crossbowmen. 1,200 hit points per entity lasts a lot longer at 90 armor. Unless you're fighting dark shots, then you can kiss your horsey goodbye. Of course, the war wagon fires whilst moving, or it wouldn't be much of a war wagon, now would it? I'll get into the Lord Redline skills because they're actually important. Mighty Forge offers a maximum of 8% reload time reduction, which is straight DPS for you, and 15% ward save, nullifying all damage. That is, the War Wagon is in the same category as the Steam Tank, and while I didn't dwell on this in its video, the Luminarch also gets this benefit. 15% less damage from all sources across the board is nothing to scoff at. As distractions go, War Wagons are one of the beefier ones around. Unlike Outriders, rank 7 and above War Wagons are affected by Artillery Master, adding 20% ammunition, because lower reload time means you'll burn through it a lot faster, 12% missile strength, making each shot mightier, and 10% more reload time reduction because yes, give me all the DPS. Since this is a war machine, the war machine's part of the tech tree applies, giving you access to 8% less reload time once more, 10% more ammunition, 8% more missile strength, and 8% missile resistance because if you're not being shot at, you don't know how to war wagon. Combustion Agent raises recruit rank by 2 and improved pistol technology reduces recruit duration by 1. So you're not getting as much of an ammunition boost as some things, leading to the unpleasant prospect of running out mid-battle, but 35 base is a lot, and it still takes you time to burn through it. The boosts straight up help and also make your shots hit harder. The rest is up to magical support and the like. In this video, you may have noticed how I peeled off a stupidly large number of orc boys during the initial attempt to get to the rear line. Well, that happens. Wagons should be thought of first as a distraction, then as a means of doing damage over time, but the damage is armor piercing. Besides, this behavior lends itself to easy exploitation if you have a couple of mortars hanging around. you're stretching the field just like a good wide receiver. Just try and not get caught in melee. If all else fails, it's not like the Outriders in back are at ground level. Just park them behind your front line and snipe at the heads of any giants or trolls or anything else that stands tall above your friendlies. The damage quite literally adds up. It won't make your highlight reels, but it's there. Take care, and have fun running rings around the enemy while shooting and presumably taunting in a very annoying voice. Because I'm sure these guys were doing it to the Orc boys.